You ever scroll through YouTube and wonder what separates a video that blows up from one that just disappears? Well, it's not just luck. Turns out, there's a formula. And today, we're going to break it down by diving into the key ideas from Derral Eves' book, The YouTube Formula. Let's get right into it.
I mean, that's the big question, right? For every creator out there. But the answer isn't about chasing one single viral hit. It's about a system, a formula you can use over and over, built on data, real human connection, and yeah, a journey that usually starts with a bit of failure.
And this was the reality for the guy who wrote the book, Derral Eves himself. Yeah, before he was a YouTube guru, he was just an independent graphic designer with a single client trying to figure out how to survive. His story doesn't start from the top, it starts from a place of desperation that, let's be honest, a lot of creators can relate to.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to follow his journey through these 5 key stages. We'll see how he went from just struggling to having a real strategy, how he cracked the code on the YouTube algorithm, built these amazing communities, turned that into a career, and finally, boiled it all down into one simple formula.
Okay, first stop, the pivot. This is the moment where everything changed for Eves. It's that realization that when what you're doing just isn't working, the most powerful thing you can do is recognize it and completely change your gameplay.
And wow, just look at the difference here. Eves' first plan was cold calling. He called 200 businesses and got 2 maybes. It was a total dead end. So he pivoted. Instead of calling, he got in his car and physically hand-delivered these awesome, high-quality business cards he'd designed. By literally showing up and proving his value in person, he landed over 100 new clients. The lesson here is huge. Stop wasting energy on what's not working and find a way to put your value right in front of people.
That early lesson in strategy really set him up for his next big challenge, figuring out the powerful machine that runs YouTube. Because let's face it, you can't win the game if you don't even know the rules.
Take a look at this number, 80 billion with a B. That is how many little pieces of data points, YouTube's AI gathers and analyzes every single day. This isn't just counting views, it's this giant, complex system built to understand just one thing: what's going to keep you watching.
So how does it learn? Well, every single thing you do on the platform is a signal. The videos you actually watch, the ones you click away from after 5 seconds, every single like, every comment, it all gets fed into what YouTube calls a satisfaction feedback loop. The algorithm is basically on a relentless quest to figure out what makes you happy so it can keep you on the platform longer. And all this learning led to what Eves calls the Great Shift. See, back around 2012, YouTube's whole brain changed. It stopped just rewarding simple clicks, which, led to all that clickbait with crazy titles and thumbnails. Instead, it started rewarding watch time. The new game was all about finding videos that not only got your click, but actually delivered and kept you engaged. And that one change right there is the foundation of pretty much all modern YouTube strategies. But here's the twist. Understanding the machine, that's only half the battle. The real secret to long-term growth, it's not an algorithm, it's people. It's about building a real human connection.
This quote from the book just nails it. You can try to game the algorithm all day long, but the channels that really, truly succeed are the ones that build a loyal community. Why? Because it taps into this deep human need we all have. We want to belong to something. We want to be part of a tribe.
So how do you actually do that? Well, Eves introduces this framework called primal branding. It's basically about creating a whole world around your channel. Think about it. Every strong community has an origin story, right? A set of beliefs. They have their own symbols, their own rituals, like a weekly live stream, and even their own language or inside jokes. And this is a big one. They define who they are not for. And it all centers around a leader, that's you, who is the face of that community. And if you think this is all just theory, check out the story of the Doan family. They were facing financial ruin, so they started this little quilt shop. But their breakthrough came when Jenny Doan started making these simple, authentic quilting tutorials for YouTube. Her channel built this huge global community that didn't just become a multi-million-dollar business, it literally revitalized their entire small town in Missouri, turning it into a tourist destination. I mean, that's the power of community right there. Okay, so building that community gives you influence, which is an incredible thing to have. But how do you turn that influence into a career that actually pays the bills? The next big piece of the puzzle is understanding how to monetize the right way. Take Jessica Hatch from the channel Gone to the Snow Dogs. For years, she was juggling her family's restaurant and her YouTube channel. But when she finally took the leap to go full-time on YouTube, you know what happened? She more than doubled her income. And she did it by realizing you have to treat your channel like a real business.
You know, a common mistake is thinking YouTube is all about that ad revenue from Google. But for the most successful creators, AdSense is just one slice of the pie. The real key to a stable income is diversifying. You need multiple streams of revenue, whether that's brand deals, selling merchandise, using affiliate links, or having channel memberships. If you rely on just one, you're taking a huge risk.
And this is where the true power of influence really comes into focus. It's not just about making money, it's about making a real-world impact. Just look at what Mr. Beast did with # Trees. He used his massive community to rally behind one simple goal: plant 20 million trees. And they didn't just hit the goal, they blew past it, raising almost $22 million. That is influence being used for massive, positive change.
All right, we've covered strategy, the algorithm, community, and making money. But how does it all fit together? Let's bring it all home with one simple, powerful formula that can drive your growth again and again.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this 4-step loop. First, you have to try. You got to make the thing and put it out there. Second, you have to accept that you will fail. Not every video is going to be a banger, and that's okay. The third, and maybe the most important step, is to analyze. You have to dive into your analytics and figure out why. Why did people leave? Where were they most engaged? And finally, you adjust. You take what you learned, tweak your strategy, and go again. Try, fail, analyze, adjust. That's the formula. Look, it's not about being the next Mr. Beast or the next Missouri Star Quilt Company. It's about understanding these core principles, from strategy and data to community and monetization, and applying them to your own unique thing, your own passion. The formula is right here. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?